Good morning. Welcome to the channel. This is Lunar Goddess Tarot. I'm Sarah and I'll be your intuitive guide and your reader today. So for today's reading, we're focusing on the healing elements of this journey. And really in every reading, we're focusing on the healing, the guidance, and what you can receive to move forward in your journey, to come unstuck and not allow yourself to become unglued, because March is a challenging month. And, I want to make sure that everyone is feeling as good as possible. We just need to hold out until we get to April, guys. So I know the physical challenges are up right now. I understand that there's emotions that are circling around too, and that a lot of the masculines are in a struggle mode, in a struggle stage of the journey right now. A lot of them are coping with their addictions. A lot of them are healing from their addictions. A lot of them are seeking psychological help. They're seeking the help of a therapist or a counselor or even a healer. And a lot of them are taking solo retreats or solo trips to try to rebalance. But what they're going to find is that doesn't stop the longing, that doesn't stop the incessant thoughts about you and about wanting to be with you and feeling you, and like they just can't escape it. So they're going to try, or they are trying actively, but it's not going to work. So like, for instance, some of them are going to go do like an oceanside or a beach retreat or something, or a vacation, a solo vacation. And they're going to think that this is going to refresh and rebalance them. And it will temporarily, but then what's going to happen is they're just going to be right back at square one when they return home, to their familiar environment and the stressors that they've placed on themselves to be perfect. And the longing is going to begin again. The masculines are really good at denying the longing, and they just push it away, but it's actually making them physically ill at this point in the journey. So feminines, I want you focused on yourself. I want you to know what a gem you are, what a prize you are. The masculine is as well. By the way, I'm not at all against the masculine. I have very strong masculine energies myself. But the masculine is definitely in the throes of deep healing, especially healing parental wounds, healing ancestral, generational traumas. And guys, it's getting really juicy, this journey. So if you guys would like more support, come and join our April group Twin Flame Transformational Program. It's a group program. We're going to meet twice a month, but we're going to meet every day in the social group. So you're going to have access to a private social group, private energy updates, astrological updates, guidance, support from two seasoned and experienced coaches and healers, Holly and myself. And we're going to run this for 4 months. So you've got us for 4 straight months. You've got direct access to Holly and myself, as well as direct access to others in the group. And we're so excited. We're in the early bird specials here until Sunday, March 13th at midnight Pacific Standard Time. So you have 3 more whole days to decide if this is the program for you, and take advantage of that early bird, because you're going to save $600 if you pay in full, or $400 if you choose the payment plan. If you need a payment plan, just reach out to me, twinflameunioncoaching@gmail.com. All the information is going to be in the description box below, as well as the link to purchase your spot, to reserve your spot in the program. And for international clients, we have very easy way to pay. It's called Wise. Very simple, very safe and secure. So we're super thrilled to be launching this again, and we can't wait to spend some time with all of you. So that being said, guys, we're going to jump right into the reading portion of the reading. And I'm actually going to start with this Angels and Ancestors deck by Kyle Gray. This one is really calling to me, as just there's some important elements here. There's some important messages that want to come through. Again, because there's that generational healing that the masculines are moving through. They are healing ancient wounds within their family dynamics. And so they're healing, especially those masculines who may be a bit older, who have already lost one parent or both parents. Or just a younger masculine who's lost a parent or both parents in some traumatic way. And when the death happened, there was some unresolved communication or words that went unsaid. The masculines have blamed themselves, okay? So there's been a lot of blame that they've carried for years and years surrounding this passing of the parent, and it feels like unresolved trauma, unresolved just words that they didn't get to say, that they now feel regret that they didn't say, that they didn't communicate, that they didn't say they were sorry, that they didn't choose forgiveness. Okay, so there's some heavy stuff going around right now with the masculines. And I know that for those of you who are in communication, you're seeing this firsthand. And for those of you who aren't in communication, which is the majority of the Twin Flame Collective right now, you are in like some sort of separation. You may not be getting all of the story or even any of the story, but don't be disillusioned, because there's so many illusions still afoot, and all is not what it seems. All is not lost, okay? There's a lot of hopelessness circulating. It's very similar energies as I've been stating to December, and we just need to move through this, okay? Keep the hope, keep the faith. Yeah, look, hold the space. Perfect. So the guides are saying hold the faith, like keep the faith, feminines. Hold the space for the masculine. This is the Druid card. I'm going to probably get the book out here to look a little deeper. This is such a cool deck. It's a deck by Kyle Gray, one of my favorite creators. And yeah, this is about holding things together. So feminine, you're being asked to hold yourself together, to hold this together, and don't make any sudden moves. Yes, I moved in the month of March. I'm still in the process of moving, but I wouldn't recommend it. It honestly could create some sort of PTSD, especially if you've had a traumatic move in the past. And if you're moving states or moving, locations like I did, you're going to feel there's going to be a lot of abandonment that comes up. So I would wait until April through August, guys. It didn't work that way for me. This is just how it needed to happen and how it came together. But I would recommend for anyone else, if you can, just stay put where you are, okay? It's very volatile, the energies of March. So it says, hold things together. Don't make any sudden moves or changes. Stand strong, knowing you are where you're supposed to be. The Druids were the ancient wise ones of the British Isles. They had a deep connection with the earth, the sun, and the moon. So deep connection with cycles. They were the scholars who crossed the Ogham tree language, who created the Ogham tree language, and they were known for their creative skills in storytelling, poetry, and craftsmanship. When the Druid card appears in a reading, you're being guided to dig deep within and hold your station. If you're wondering what to do next or have a sense of anxiety about what is unfolding at this moment, it's time to shift your perception and move back to a state of trust. Wow. So they want your life to be, guys, a reflection of stability, a reflection of truth, a reflection of your own inner strength and courage. Stand still like a tree. And this would actually be a really good time to practice the tree pose from yoga. It also it helps with balance, being able to balance on our 2 feet or on 1 foot at a time. There's many variations or modifications you can use if you have trouble balancing. You can do pretty much any yoga pose against a wall, so I always recommend that, as well as using a chair for support. I don't know, many of you guys don't know, but I'm yoga certified, and I taught yoga at a cancer clinic for 3 years and yoga in corporations for 6 years. And I was humbled by my experiences because I was taught in a very fast-paced manner, a vinyasa style. And by the end, I don't teach anymore at this time, but by the end of those 6 years, I had slowed down tremendously, and I had gained such a respect for the balancing that you can create when you just slow down. So that's what we're being told here, guys. Slow down, find a place of peace and balance. You don't have to know everything right now. You don't have to know how it's going to unfold or where life is heading or where even the world events that are causing a ton of collective anxiety. We don't have to have all the answers for everyone else, okay? Take that stress and pressure off of yourself. Yeah, and again, the Hermit card coming up, just like it did yesterday for the masculines. It's coming up again, and it's saying retreat and recharge, feminine. This is also, so this is for both counterparts, I feel. This is more of the feminine energy. This is more of the masculine energy, retreat and recharge. So yeah, you may not be hearing from your masculine, but they're dwelling in the cave of their own heart at this moment, okay? They're dwelling in a space that feels safe for them. And they're really going within to connect to the parts of themselves that they've lost or that they have denied. And this includes the inner child, okay? This is why they're doing that parental healing right now. And if they're parents themselves, they're definitely doing some healing with regards to their own children. A lot of masculines feel like they've dropped the ball with their own kids, or that they're repeating cycles that their father did or their mother did, because they've lost custody, or they only have 25% custody and the ex has now gotten 75% or even 100% custody. And so they feel like they've really disappointed their children, and in doing so they disappointed themselves, and they feel like, how could my feminine be proud of me when I'm not even proud of myself? Like, everything has gone to shit in my life, everything has fallen apart. They're still struggling with that self-worth of, how could she even want to be with someone like me? Look at her, she's got her whole life put together, she's rising and she's creating for herself and she's supporting herself and she's creating abundance, and I'm over here just trying to figure it out. And they feel like a child, right? They're going through this. And a lot of you might say, like, yeah, my masculine's 50 years old, but he acts like he's 20. It's because there was inner child wounds to heal. Okay, so they're healing inner child wounds, but they need to go within. This is why I say, guys, don't knock on the door and ask them, hey, how you doing in there? Like, literally or figuratively. Don't. Just let them be. Let them heal. Let them experience the sorrow, the pain, the anger, the rage, the fear, the blame, the shame. They need to sort through this on their own. They don't need us to give them a guidebook. I made that mistake early on in my journey, thinking my masculine needed me to tell him to read this or listen to this. And I don't even think he ever did any of those things when I sent them to him. I think he's like, thank you, but I've got this. How dare you think that I'm not strong enough or courageous enough to figure this out when you've done it, feminine. They are you, so they're a reflection of us. So that means there was a part of you that you didn't trust that was able or capable of breaking free. And the truth is, and I've shared this with some of you, and I'll share my story in a lot more detail in the group. The truth is we kind of blame the masculine and say, you're behind, or why don't you catch up, or why don't you leave that karmic partner situation? Like, what's your problem? And if you really look deeply and get really brutally honest with yourself, feminine, you'll find, almost guaranteed, you're going to find that he is acting or she is acting as a divine mirror. And in doing so, they're showing you places where you have yet to heal, where you have yet to explore or experience or accept about yourself. And for me, it was I needed to move. And he was the one who actually left the karmic situation before I did. Right? So he was the one, and our situations were different. His was a person, mine were like attachments, like codependency and a fear. And so we moved through it differently, but he did it a year before I did, or a year and a half. He initiated it a year and a half before I did. And here I was blaming him. Well, why don't you, do this? And he went through his experience, walked away, and I was still in it. So he was waiting for me. And when I realized that, it was like a light bulb, like fireworks went off in my brain, and I'm like, holy shit, I've got to share this with my people so that you understand that you are in charge of this journey. You're in charge of how it flows. You're in charge of your healing. Nobody else is here to save you. Nobody else is here to rescue you from yourself. That might feel like tough love to some of you. It doesn't mean you're not worthy of being loved or supported. That's not what I'm saying. But no one else's job to save you or rescue you, just like it's not your job to save or rescue your masculine or anybody else, your parents, your friends who are drowning in addiction, or they're drowning in whatever it might be, denial, fear. People have to figure it out for themselves. You don't want resentments in this journey. There's enough stress, enough drama, enough trauma already as it is. If you've chosen a twin flame journey, you are an older soul. Some of us are ancient. I'm talking about millions or billions of lifetimes. Like, we have walked this earth, and if you're an old soul. And again, I'm never trying to initiate a competition, a first wave or second wave, or old soul, young soul. There's benefits to being an old soul. There's benefits to being a new soul. New souls are beautiful. They see life. I have a nephew who's a new soul. They see life through these, it's rose-colored glasses and beautiful. And They point out things that you may not be able to recognize because of the trauma that you've experienced through several lifetimes, but they point that out, and they're so full of hope and positivity in life. And gosh damn it, we need that right now. We need that in this world. We need you new souls to lift us up, because a lot of us old souls, ancient souls, are tired. We're tired, soul tired, weary. We've walked this path for so many years, so many lifetimes, that we're just tired. So we all work together. And then the old souls, we have wisdom that we carry. We are the teachers, we are the leaders, we are the way showers. But we need those new souls to infuse us with light. We need those new souls to infuse us with hope and positivity when we're feeling down or hopeless. We all work in this together, guys. It's a beautiful, beautiful rhythm. So let's look into the masculine's energy. Summer, bask in joy and light. That is the energy that's coming through. Thank God for this, right? We've got, the druid and the hermit, very kind of like downtrodden kind of, not downtrodden energies, but very subdued is what I'm trying to say. And then, yes, at last we have the summer, bask in joy and light. So the bee representing the masculines working together, right? They're worker bees. They work together, they form a community, they rely on each other. So the masculines are going to start to come together more and more in the world, and they're going to be able to rely on others. So they're forming new friendships and new collaborations, and I'm telling you guys, they're meeting other masculines, okay? They're meeting other masculines who are moving through similar, or have moved through similar, like a relation. They're meeting other twin flames, okay? And if they're a masculine, if they're a male, I feel like they're meeting male twin flames. If they're a female, masculine, I feel like they're meeting other female divine masculines. This is just what's showing up. Could it be opposite sex? Absolutely. But I feel like it's going to feel more comfortable right now for the masculine if they meet someone of the same sex, because it just is, for whatever reason. And so the masculines are, have started to come together, even if just in the 5D, but they're starting to get a feel like life can be good again. They're starting to feel a little bit of anticipation for what's to come. So even though they're in this kind of darker, kind of like a void energy, a withdrawn energy, a subdued energy, on the other side of this is what they're moving towards is this very beautiful energy where life is going to feel like it's worth living again. A lot of the masculines are wanting to go home right now. They're getting that feeling of I'm just so sad. I'm so sad. And then they feel the longing for the feminine, but then what happens is they just deny it, they reject it, they go and do something else. And the more that they push down those true, genuine feelings, authentic feelings of how they feel for you, the more they're hurting themselves. And you know that, feminine, because you've gone through that, where you tried to deny the connection and tried to walk away or get off the journey, and you end up on the floor, curled up in a ball, crying, praying to God or your higher power to help you. Because ultimately, right, look, we have truth and one love, throat chakra and the star chakra. So ultimately, what the masculines are realizing is you are one and the same. You are one soul. They're realizing that this is not a soulmate connection. This is like a huge epiphany. They're realizing the truth of this connection, the truth of this world, that this is a matrix, okay? That not that this is a matrix, but that we've been enveloped in this matrix. And, we're being led by these tyrannical leaders, and they're realizing that freedom is on the other side of what they're seeing with their two physical eyes. So they're starting to really, speak their truth, deliver their truth, the beautiful energy here. There's a lot of clarity coming in here. They're speaking with clarity, and a lot of them want to come in with clarity, guys. If you've been really stern or strict with your boundaries and firm, your masculine's not going to come in with that same bullshit. What are you allowing? Are you allowing them to come back in with that? Or are you saying, you know what, I'm not doing this? I don't care what the title is. I don't care. I deserve respect, and I deserve somebody who wants to be with me, and I don't deserve this half-ass shit anymore. Okay? Like, either you're with me or you're not. It's very simple. If you've laid down the law with the masculine, they have really, and there's been like a period of separation where you've actually let go and you've allowed your counterpart to heal and to grow without trying to interfere or interject. If that is the case, then they're coming to this really deep realization, like there is no separation. So they know that you're not, they used to think you were just a soulmate, like a strong soulmate. Now they know that a soulmate is different. Now, because they're comparing their relationships and they're like, I've had soulmates. This is different. This is like, I'm attached to her at the soul level. I can't stop thinking about this person. They've realized that this is not something that they can escape, and nor do they necessarily want to escape this. I feel like the masculine wants to be near you at this time. I feel like they want to be wrapped up in your embrace. They would love nothing more than to wake up and have breakfast next to you. But they've got to continue living their truth, embodying their truth, and speaking their truth in order for the universe to sort of take them seriously. Yeah, there's got to be some self-forgiveness coming into the heart chakra here. And there's got to be some forgiveness of others. So they're working on forgiving their parents, as I stated. They're working on forgiving their childhood and the conditions of their childhood. And they're working on forgiving you, okay, for any trespasses you may have, caused against them. And in that, again, is how they're perceiving it, even if that's not the case. We often feel like our counterpart is out to get us, and that works both ways. But yeah, that the masculine is working very deeply on living a life of integrity, embracing this connection, and the truth of the connection also, and the truth of who you are. So they're really, really getting to an understanding of what this is on a much, way past the superficial, way past the lust energy. We're way past the lust energy. When your masculine comes in, guys, if they've been gone a while, they're going to come back in with much more respect. It might even feel like a more somber tone, but it's because they're like, I need to talk to you. I have been through so much. What the hell is going on? Because they know that you're the only one that's going to understand what they've been through. Okay? And that's huge, because karmic partners don't have depth. They don't care. They care about money and things and what the masculine can give them. And it's a toxic connection, okay? There's no trust there. There's no actual heart connection there. They have to forgive themselves for choosing somebody else. They have to forgive themselves for hurting you, for causing you pain. The one person they never wanted to hurt is the one person they probably hurt the most. And in hurting you, they hurt themselves. So there's a lot happening, guys. There's a lot of rumblings happening underneath the surface. It's kind of like a volcano that's going to burst at any second. There's a lot of sadness. A lot of the anger has moved to sadness for the masculines. They moved through a period of rage there for a few weeks, and now there's a lot of sadness coming up, a lot of reminiscing, a lot of remembrance, and a lot of going back to the past when things were more simple with you in the beginning, when you just were so in love, and yeah, things were complicated, in both of your lives. There might have been, one of you might have been married, both of you might have been married, whatever. There were complications, you live in separate places, but it's like, you were always connected. And a lot of you have been through some longer separations, and it will humble you. This journey will humble you like no other. And it will open your heart if you allow it to. It will open your heart, and that's what's happening. The masculine's hearts have been closed for a while, which again is why they chose in the past karmic partners. Because they didn't have to open their hearts. They could just have like empty sex with the karmic partners and empty conversations. But then they were left feeling lonely deep down in their soul. Because the only one they could have those deep conversations with was you. Even if you disagreed on things, you're the only one who could challenge them at that level. You're the only one. Period. All right, so feminine energy. The angel of integration. You've got a lot of support and help in the angelic realms, feminine. So you're definitely still in the integration period. We've been seeing that for a little while with the feminines. Stay open, stay receptive, hold the space here with this druid energy. The ancient ones of the British Isles, right? Very creative energy. Like in this space, look at the fertility, look at the leaves. Connect to nature, connect to your sacral chakra, connect to that womb chakra, the chakra of creation, the womb of creation. And what do you want to create, and what do you want to impart? What kind of knowledge do you want to impart in this world? Many of you are stepping away from corporate jobs at this time and stepping into your own creative endeavors, self-employment, okay? Start researching, LLCs, S corporation, C corporation, sole proprietorship, how it is that you want to start that. But don't allow yourself to be overwhelmed, guys. Don't allow yourself. You can, in a lot of states, it's simple enough. I don't know about other countries, but in a lot of states here, it's simple enough to just create your own corporation online. You can do it yourself and, hire a good accountant, and you decide, you just have to put one foot forward and start. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to have everything laid out. I mean, that's what I've done with both of these channels that I've had. You just start, that's it. You just begin. And the people who are destined to find you will find you. You also have, you're definitely surrounded by helpers and these higher realms, these angelic realms, because you've got two angels supporting you, feminine. The angel of alchemy, the angel of magic, the angel of transformation and transmutation. So you're transmuting a lot of the old or the trauma or the pain or the things that have been stored, deep inside your cells. It's being transmuted into light. A lot of you are filling with light at this time. So one of the things that I'm seeing that I know is super frustrating for the feminines is a lot of bloating in the solar plexus. But this is happening as a layer of protection, and it's also happening because you're being infused with so much light, and we are shifting. The other thing that you may be noticing right now is a thinner face. Sorry, I can't tell you it'll be thinner hips or thinner. If anything, you probably have a little belly right now, and you probably have never had one. Or maybe it's a little bigger than it's always been, right? Or your hips feel like they've expanded. Your body is preparing itself for pregnancy. Whether that's an actual physical birth or whether that's a spirit baby or a project or self-employment, but your body is preparing itself, feminines. And if you're a male feminine, you're like, what the fuck? You're feeling this also. You could feel the twinges, you could probably feel it in the womb space. You could feel like this is crazy. So you might even also be bloated. Men can get bloated too. It's not just women. It's interesting that both you and your masculine both have a throat chakra card. So what I love about this is there is communication coming in. And you know that I don't say this lightly. I don't throw this out there all the time because, communication is very valuable on this journey, and sometimes it's very sparse depending on what stage we're in. And it's a very important part of the journey, right? It feels like, wow, you feel the shift when you communicate in the 3D. And it gives you some sort of validation that maybe you can't receive in the 5D. There's definitely communication coming in. It's a transformative communication because the butterflies in this card indicate to me that it's a different kind of a communication than you've had in the past with your counterpart. They're transformed, you're transformed, the connection is transformed. So really, really amazing to see that. You're going to talk about things. Your masculine wants to describe what he's been through. He wants to give you like the rundown as to why he did what he did. And he wants to tell you how sorry he is. But more than that, he just wants to be honest. He just wants to, I just want to be honest with you about everything. Now, the truth can hurt. So you want to make sure that you stay aligned, feminine, you stay balanced. And what I recommend is if at any time you have this communication, you start to feel imbalanced, don't respond for a few days. Get back to balance because they're not going anywhere. You don't have to worry about them going anywhere. If they block you, they're going to unblock you. Okay? It's just you don't want to get out of balance again and then send yourselves right back into separation, okay? What you want to do is you want to stay aligned and you don't want to have a reaction. Okay? We're going to give you guys a lot more support in the group as to how to deal with all of these situations because they're going to be coming up big time. There's a reunion energy in the air this year. And the reunion energy doesn't automatically mean you go right into union, guys. You can go back and forth for years sometimes with reunion energy. You reunite, you separate, reunite, separate. So what we want to do is we want to assist you in how to move through those times where the masculine communicates or when they're not communicating, how to stay steady, how to stay in your own lane, how to stay on top of things, and how not to allow yourself to get imbalanced or thrown off your course when the masculine does come in or when there's periods of separation. Both of you have felt a little left out from each other's lives, right? So the Five of Pentacles talks about like being locked out, not being able to get access into someone's life or someone's head. So you've both sort of shut each other out here, and there's been no way. There could be some blocking that's happened. Maybe you're the blocker or the masculine blocked you maybe for the first time. But there's no need to freak out, guys, because you're always connected. If you need to communicate, you go into your heart space and you connect to them there. It's really hard to drive this point home, but the whole purpose of this journey is to unite with self. And that is you. That is yourself in another body. Okay, so like when the masculine is MIA, they're missing in action in the physical, and the feminine freaks out, you just perpetuate the separation because you focus on it. When you stop focusing on the separation, the masculine comes forward. Okay? And we're responsible for our reactions and responses to life. We're not responsible for other people's, but because this is another you. This is different. This is not a soulmate. You can't, and I see so much, the reason why we initiated and started this program is because we saw so many people we've talked to, clients, responding or reacting to this connection as if it is a 3D connection, as if it's a soulmate connection, and you're never gonna get anywhere in that mindset. If you're punishing your masculine, you're punishing yourself. It's never gonna get you anywhere. So we want to help you move past that to a deeper understanding of the journey, the truth of the journey, the real purpose of the journey. And so that when you do get triggered, you know how to handle those triggers with more grace, and it doesn't throw you off course, and it doesn't make you feel like you have to go and cry for weeks or months, right? Or that you're going to be able to handle yourself with so much more grace and get right back into your purpose and your mission. Where's the masculine at right now in his 3D world? We're going to take a little peek. They don't always like me doing this. Yeah, there's a little bit, again, of, so I see the Eight of Swords coupled with the Priestess. It's interesting. Then we have the Nine of Wands. There's like a conflicting energy here. So the Eight of Swords with the Priestess, the High Priestess, is, our intuition. It's that divine feminine energy, creativity. It's the womb energy, the energy of being able to trust yourself. But he sees you as the High Priestess. This is my card for the divine feminine. So the Eight of Swords is like you've blindfolded yourself to the truth and you can't see clearly. So they felt like, again, it's kind of similar to the Five of Pentacles energy. They're in this energy of like, I can't get to her. I don't know how to get to her because it's been so long, or that door has been slammed shut, or they feel so much shame because they're moving through so much pain and sadness that they're so afraid that if I reach out right now and she rejects me, I don't know if I can handle it. So the Nine of Wands, on the other hand, indicates success coming out of this. What this tells me is this is more of a future energy. This is a current energy, right? The Eight of Swords. But then the future energy is their higher self, you, is going to come through. Their inner divine feminine is going to come through. And the Nine of Wands is, Nine of Inspiration in this deck, is success. Like, forget the naysayers. Fuck everyone else, the outside world, the external world, what people have to say, their judgments. They don't care. They're going to push through to get to you. So they might be in a difficult place right now. The connection might be in a challenging place. But what I'm seeing is this is a temporary energy, and it's designed to move them forward and to get them to a place where they really, truly trust themselves. And they don't, like, they no longer feel like they have to They don't have to hide. They don't have to be afraid. Like, they don't have to hide from you. They don't have to be afraid that you're going to reject them. But they have to heal self-rejection first. When they heal self-rejection, they'll come forward with ease, guys. They just have to heal that fear of like, she's going to or he's going to reject me. And they're working on that. So what I'm seeing overall in this reading as we close out is very positive. I'm seeing communication. I'm seeing the feminine surrounded by a lot of angelic energy. I'm seeing the masculine work through some really, really important things. Really, like, finding those deeper layers within themselves that's kept them from living up to their potential, okay? Because they know they haven't lived up to their true potential as a divine masculine. They know this. They know that there's more. They know that there's supposed to be more. It's just that they haven't been able to see the way forward. They've been blindfolded, right? 8 of Swords. And so as they come forward and they come out of this hermit energy, summer looks really good for these connections. So we're going to use the months of April and May. I think we go into summer in June, right? It's when we have the summer solstice here in the Northern Hemisphere. We're going to use the months of April and May to prepare for the arrival, for the communication of the counterpart. And again, for those masculines who have been silent for a long time, I mean, where there's been complete separation and silence, not the back and forth, you're going to see a significant change in your counterpart. The energy is going to feel very different. And when they do come in, yes, they might be a little stoic, but you might also be a little stoic. You're going to be a little hesitant of each other at first because neither one of you want to repeat those past cycles. Take all of this into account, guys, okay? Rewatch this if you need to. I'm sending you guys so much love and support. Please drop a like and share and subscribe to the channel. Those are just easy things to do that greatly help support me and the work that I'm doing. Check me out over on Patreon. I will be posting an update there very soon here. And again, if you have any questions at all about the April group coaching program, about the early bird, about payment plans or anything like that, please reach out to me, twinflameunioncoaching@gmail.com. And if you're like, I didn't catch that, go in the description box. You can check out the website. You can check out more information about the program. And I'm happy to answer any questions you have. And we would love, love, love to have you on board with us and to help support you and guide you and really help you break free from that longing or from any fear you have, creating abundance in your life, reaching inner union, and watching your transformation. So it's our pleasure. So take great care, guys, and I will see you so, so soon. Be well.